Your dreams aren't big enough, if they don't scare you, if they don't keep you up at night, if they don't motivate you when you don't feel like it, they don't get you out of bed, they're not big enough.
Facts.
Your dreams should be so big, so astronomical, so large that it should just scare you into action.
Facts.
You should be wanting to chase after it every single day.
That's facts.
Planning these courses, like a couple actually tied to melanated mathematics, because a lot of people have responded to me and said, do you have anything for older kids, or is it just elementary school? And I was like, well, right now it's, I'm finishing up elementary, and then this is going to be, and this is kind of what made me think about pulling my sister in to work on finishing up the elementary stuff so I can focus on the next phase. And what I'd want to do, and it wouldn't necessarily even just be like middle, high school. Like it could be some elementary school kids too, because they have, kids do entrepreneurship, like, and that's what it's focused on. So I'm thinking about doing 3 courses, like, of course, using like practical mathematics in it, like, understanding like basics like income, expense, profit. Also, then like thinking about like, so that's how you generate capital. And this is like literally, my playbook. Like I started selling on eBay, and then I got to a point where I was like, okay, I want to invest in myself. And that's when I was like, I want to start a business. And I started, creating the products or whatever and put money into myself, which brought me to like Printify. Again, presenting the math, this now you got overhead costs. Now you got this, you might have inventory, whatever, pushing a class, like a little course or something on authorship, on like independent publishing. Mm-hmm. So like, and what I talked to Kelly about before was we definitely focus a lot on reading aspects, but one of the goals also should be to have our young people writing more. And if they have the idea that I can write something, I can publish it myself, and then I can sell it, like, I think that's going to make people's ears perk up a little bit more.
It's reflective of what we want to activate Black consciousness. Like, it makes stuff cool. It can be like they're wearing this shirt and maybe they're also doing it in their lifestyle. So like, I'm an educator, I'm a counselor, so wearing it at work and it's like behind my desk or something, or having me doing it while reading a book or reading to a class, or whatever that thing looks like. You can also tap into showcasing Black affirmation in action. You know what I'm saying? Like actually having people doing things in addition to the single selfie type thing, so you can create a collage of all these Black brothers representing with the Black affirmation shirt on as well. So, because think about it, bro, in all the marketing, Tesla, iPhone, all these companies, they show the lifestyle behind it. You know what I'm saying? They show the lifestyle. They show it has to be applicable. It has to be relevant. It has to be practical. Right. So me talking about Black affirmation and doing the documentary and the interview was great, but what does it look like in action? Mm-hmm. What if I don't know how to talk right now and be able to verbalize my thoughts in an interview? I want to still be able to relate to what you're talking about. Oh, okay, well, I'm a teacher. Oh, okay, cool. I like to read or whatever it is. They want to see themselves in what we're showcasing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, definitely makes sense. Because so far I have, of course, with your, you included, I would have, let's see, I think I might only right now have like 3 or 4 addresses from the brothers out. So I gotta make sure I, get the addresses of the people that are serious about doing this, so that I can hurry up and go ahead and get them everything sent out. If I start sending them out now, then there's gonna be a good push. Yeah, I'm just trying to, set things up so that I can actually accomplish them. Okay, I got it. Um, because like what you were saying before, last time we talked, like you don't want to be doing too many things and not execute. So that's why I like, with the math problems, I'm like, all right, I'm at a point where it's that's starting to build traction, and I'm gonna pull somebody else in to help with it and outsource a little bit, and also that's another like arm of support, like olive branch for my sister, because now she's getting experience doing that and everything. So there's that, and then now what we're talking about doing here, and then the outreach that goes there, and the work that's going to take to put into it. But then I also, this overhanging thing is always going to be like the documentary, which is like it's a big project that's going to be spread out over time. But I want to make sure that I'm able to really commit to it, and just make sure I finish stuff.
Yep. Hey, bro. One thing. Boot. She kicked me in the face a long time ago, and that's how I knew she was the one. She was looking at me one day, and she was like, "Man, you don't finish nothing. You always start something, but you don't finish nothing." And I said, "Okay."
Yeah,
So yeah, I've gotten a lot better with picking and choosing what I want to focus on, because I want to make sure I'm able to bring something to fruition from it.
yeah, definitely. It's interesting now to see um, the stuff. And we talked last time. It was like how you feel. We're feeling like getting to a point of kind of being like unfulfilled, and like basically like saying like, man, what's going on? Like something got to shake. And I think getting through that now, especially coming off the week that I just had, in terms of like getting stuff out there and people seeing everything and building traction, and it's like, okay, like there's definitely the ups and downs, but it's like no matter what, the consistency factor has to stay. Because even like some stuff is, of course, is dropping off. Like honestly, I haven't done affirmations every single day, but it's not like I'm not doing them anymore at all. It's like it's more.
You gotta find that balance, man. Like you gotta find it.
Yeah, but I think the good thing though too is like if you create a bunch on the front end, you don't have to, you know what I mean? Like really,
you don't feel the pressure.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like putting that sweat equity in, right? Like the 80-20, you put 80% of the effort in, and then later on, like, well, it's a better saying than that. My business partner told me this joint. He was like, now you work hard now and see little return at the front of it, at the beginning of it, but then eventually it's going to flip to where you have to put less effort into getting in, but you get more out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we saw that happen with Muscle and Flow. Like at first we only had like 8 or 9 clients, and we were busting our butts trying to figure things out, and we weren't really making anything. But then after like that year and a half mark, and we got almost 2 years, we were having about 100 members, and we had shirts and merchandise. We had this. We had meal plans and a meal service come in and make money, and we was making money off that. And like, but we weren't hardly doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to get to that point, but it takes that front work. You know what I'm saying? To get to that point to where you don't have to work as hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm definitely seeing that now. Like where it's like, you create the content, and then it's the idea. And this is of course a model that existed already, but I took from, of course, like Dame Dash, where he's basically saying like, you create content, and you have the ownership or whatever, and you basically produce something that can be bought over and over. Like, so you make it once, and you sell it, infinity times. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, the books already exist. Like, so basically now I just need to be like, yeah, man, you should check out these books, and then it's traction of other people seeing it and being like, yes, I need
walking billboards. You want to create those walking billboards.
Yeah, I mean,
that homeschool lady was like the perfect example. Sing from yell from the rooftops.
Yeah.
About and people will hear it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is like when it's needs based and everything like that, it's just it hits a little bit different. But it's yeah, I mean, I'm seeing, and a lot of it too is man. And I just my last affirmation yesterday was about this. Was just talking about. My bad. I don't know if I'm holding you up.
Nah, dog. I'm gonna end up probably going back to sleep afterwards because I didn't. I went to bed pretty late last night because I had to. I did an evening gym session instead of morning, and I didn't get to bed about 11:30. So I'm playing games right now.
But no, I was talking about what was the affirmation? Yeah, I can't remember. Hold on, I can't even remember.
Yeah, good.
I'm drawing a blank right now. Okay, never mind. It just came to me. The main thing that I'm seeing that has been uh, great for like a return is when you're doing stuff for other people
Mm-hmm.
and like basically just like giving away stuff with nothing, with no expectation in return. Right? So she reached out to me and was like, she's the one that actually sparked me thinking about giving away the content to other people to review. Because she reached out to me and said, "Hey, I see this. I have an Instagram page, and my son at homeschool, we review products all the time. We would love to do a review." And I was like, "Oh, bet." I was like, "Yeah, I'll send it to you." And I
Yep.
just sent her a copy. And then I was like, if I could do that with one person, and she knows another person, that rule of three. I was like, what if I multiply that by like 30? So I just reached out to, different people in different groups, and I got like a whole nother set, like a full sample of people, just a full battery of folks in different areas all
Mm-hmm.
over the country. And actually, I sold some books to somebody in people in like Nova Scotia.
Damn.
Yeah, they got like they've apparently there's like a whole black homeschool population up there. And I'm learning that from being in like these different Facebook groups and stuff. But and then somebody was asking me like about collaborating with a school in Nova Scotia. So it's just like stuff that's like leaking out, and it's like now people are coming back and saying, "Hey, do like they're pulling me into different things, which
Mm-hmm.
could also lead to something else, from
There
like
you go.
presenting, speaking.
ET out here in these
I
streets.
just get my hey, you ready to come with 5,000? You want an hour of content? Give me 5,000.
That's it. Easy
But
bread.
yeah, no, it's really interesting and cool. But I also want to make sure that no matter what, I stay grounded and still like maintain like the tight knit, relationships like between me and you. Like if I'm doing something, like when we did the podcast about the Young Black Husband's Handbook, I was like, yeah, I'll do the interview, but there's no way I'm going to do it without Jamonte being on it. Like so, I need to contact him and we can do it as a collective thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's what it's about, bro. Like that's where I'm at, man. Like I'm tired of, and I was talking to one of my colleagues yesterday. And he's one of the few black guys who work there. He's a math teacher for first grade, and really, really spiritual guy. And we just was talking in passing, and it got real deep. But I was like, man, like going back to the whole capital thing. Like we was talking about, like you just gotta. We as the black people, we are so divisive, but
mm,
it's because we've been created to be that way. I said we got to break that cycle, dog. Like we all can eat, should eat, and need to eat together because that's what the game that the white people created for this country. That's what they've always done. They may not even like each other. They're not loyal to each other, but they mobilize and do things together, and that's how they create the game. I said the same thing has to be said for what we need to do as a people to kind of get out of this rat race, to get out of this all this stuff that's going on. Is we have to create these circles. We have to stay connected. We have to bring our own passions, expertise, and things together to be able to uplift each other, not be so concerned with what someone may have versus what they don't have, or where they are in their life and their station in life and all that kind of stuff. But we just gotta like bridge this stuff together, dog. Cause that's the only way things are really going to change. But there's too many ploys already in place in society. You know what I'm saying? That keeps us so either distracted or so just at odds with each other. You know, like the TV is poison. Those movies are owned by those people who are trying to just keep us busy, keep us distracted, not doing anything. So we just gotta change that narrative, man. We gotta get back on point. So, you know, I'm excited, bro. And it's funny because had you never expressed what you expressed last week when we did the podcast, after the podcast was over, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about what we're talking about right now. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's another thing that kind of lends itself to the whole courageously vulnerable thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it could have been like, all right, you know, dope podcast, bro. Like, you know, what you got doing on for the day? Are you good? I'll let you, you know, next time or whatever. Or we'll talk during the week. But because you was vulnerable enough to share that, like, you was kind of in this space, and then I talked about being in that space and like what that looked like and all that kind of stuff too. We were able to then come to this point. So, like, being courageously vulnerable is an opportunity to open up all the things that we don't even know are there. You know what I'm saying? But we so confined to our heads. We don't like to talk about all that kind of stuff. So we don't even see the beautiful fruits that could be bared from just talking.
Just continue to push forward, continue to know that you have purpose, and continue to fulfill your dreams and your passions, and everything else will fall into place.